Hey guys, Callie here. We got another Pokemon Sun and Moon trailer, and this time it's so full of information, so I'm going to be going quickly through it, starting with something I'm personally excited about, this Pokemon Snap kind of mini game. Basically taking pictures, you get these comments, you get these likes, and you can unlock new features for your camera like zooming and stuff like that. I'm just really excited. This is sort of a teaser of how it's going to work, but if you're familiar with Pokemon Snap, it seems very similar. So I'm super excited about that. Moving on though, because we didn't get too much information, I want to talk about Ultra Beast, because we get this super quick look at the end of this trailer, but there's so much going on here and it's really interesting. So, if you go on the Pokemon Sun and Moon website, there's a little bit more information. Basically, Ultra Beasts are these mysterious creatures in Alola that the Alolan population is really afraid of because it's not known, what their powers are or if they're antagonistic or anything like that. And they have these code names because it's not even clear if they're, a species of Pokemon. So this is UB01. And there's a couple things to note about this Pokemon, and I have a theory. Basically, on the website, it says that UB01 is said to have movements like that of a young girl. If you remember, in the reveal trailer for the characters, that character introduction trailer for Sun and Moon, there was a mysterious assistant named Lily, and it said she was very important to the plot, but we didn't know why. I think this is why. And a lot of it has to do with the silhouette of UB01, but also she's a young girl, and why would that even be a thing in the Pokemon's description if it wasn't connected? So basically, from top to bottom, it resembles her a lot in silhouette. You have this jellyfishy top bit that's sort of like her hat and the brim of her hat. You have the tentacles that look like bangs. You have the tentacles that look like the end of a dress. Like her dress is sort of this kind of, not even A-line, but like a bell-shaped skirt. And then tentacles that just straight up look like legs. So that's my theory. Let me know if you observed anything different, but I'm really hoping UB01 is straight up Lily, the mysterious assistant, and she's like an alien or something. I don't know if they'd go that far, but there have been Pokemon from outer space, so it's possible. Moving to the beginning of the trailer, though, we also get a confirmed this is a Pokemon, another weird new Pokemon introduction. Type Null. Not a new type they're introducing. The type of this Pokemon is normal, but its name is Type Null. Seems like sort of a reference to Missing No. A lot of people have been commenting about how it reminds them of Missing No. But, I mean, it's not like a glitch Pokemon. It is a synthetic chimera Pokemon. Basically, the idea was, let's take all the powers that we like about certain Pokemon and combine them into one to make this, ultimate Pokemon. Apparently they did it too hard because that mask that it's wearing is supposed to contain its power, but it has these talon front legs, these back legs that kind of remind me of the legendary dogs or a Houndoom. This fin and all this stuff. It's an interesting Pokemon. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a pseudo-legendary, but as we'll see a little bit later, it is connected to Team Skull. The other thing is that makes me kind of suspicious of its status is that it's just using Tri-Attack. It's not, this trailer isn't showing off a Z move connected to Type Null. It's not has this crazy move like Solgaleo and Lunala. It's, it's just Tri-Attack. But I'm really interested in that Pokemon. I can't wait to see more. This Pokemon is just this cute little dragon kid. Nothing super notable. Uses Dragon Tail in this trailer a little bit later. Whoop. But we can skip right ahead to Alolan Raticate. Surprise. Obviously, we saw Alolan Rattata. There's a couple things I want to note. It has Hustle as one of its abilities, which increases the chance of encountering a high-level Pokemon by 50% if you put it at the front of your party. If HMs are still a thing, which I really hope they're not. If you know me, I don't like HMs. But it would be a good Pokemon to load up with HMs because it can learn Strength, Cut, and Rock Smash. And if you put it at the front of your party, you can maybe farm some higher level Pokemon. So maybe a good utility Pokemon. I'm liking this Alolan form. And, it's worth noting that every dark type Alolan form, well, maybe not every, but I remember seeing Meowth in this same setting, this kind of, it looks almost like a resort, this resort-esque area in nighttime or at nighttime. And I think that's important based on the news that we get in a second in this trailer, which is the Sun and Moon time difference. Basically, it's not clear from the trailer, but Sun will be accurate to your 3DS clock and Moon will be 12 hours ahead. So it's not always nighttime in Moon. But if going a little bit forward, the time difference in Pokemon Sun and Moon also factors in to the version differences. So in addition to like different Pokemon in a version, you're also going to get different totem Pokemon in these like side quests that we saw in an earlier trailer. And so it makes me think maybe Alolan forms that are dark types are more common in Moon or something tied to the night, obviously, because you're seeing these Pokemon at nighttime. And there's no way Gumshoes is... I mean, maybe there's a 1% chance, but I doubt Gumshoes is a version exclusive because it is the generation's, Eradicate. So I just think it's interesting and worth noting that time, not just day-night cycle, but time itself is a version difference. And that brings us to some of the story stuff, the Aether Foundation. We can go through this pretty quickly because it's just a quick introduction to the characters and like who they are. But I do want to point out in this bit of dialogue, welcome to Aether Paradise indicates pretty obviously that you can actually physically go there in the game. And I think it's that kind of man-made looking structure. If you look at the map of Alola, you have the 4 islands of the archipelago, and then that white man-made looking structure. That's most likely Aether Paradise. And it's, like she says, a private island. It's man-made. And they are sort of this wildlife sanctuary group that also does research on Pokemon and protects them from Team Skull and all that. So speaking of Team Skull, I just want to highlight this little Easter eggy reference. I don't know how much of an Easter egg it is, but I noticed it because as a Gen 2 fan, in Gen 2, Team Rocket's whole thing was we're going to steal Slowpokes, sell their tails for profit because their tails... we're going to lie and say they have nutritional value. So Team Skull seems to be doing something similar. They're going to sell Slowpokes. I don't know why Slowpokes are the Pokemon you make money off of, so that's what makes me think it's a little bit of a reference. And also they are acknowledging their past as a franchise with, Alolan forms are first-generation Pokemon. We're getting this Pokemon Snap-like minigame, and now this little reference. I just thought it was cool. And then continuing on with Team Skull, this is Gladian. I think that's how you say his name. Sounds like Gladiator, but he's like this, snobbish anime boy, really. He kind of turns his nose up at you. But his Pokemon of choice is type Null, according to the website. Last big story thing. I mean, to wrap up this trailer, I think this encapsulates what Pokemon Sun and Moon is going to be. They've been focusing on the lore a lot. They've been focusing on story. And I think this is really, really cool because these two characters here, Dexio and Sina, are professor's assistants from X and Y. And the cool thing about that is they're giving you a Zygarde quest. And it's like, if you remember when X and Y came out, everyone was like, okay, well, Z obviously is the next step because, X, Y, Z, we have Xerneas, we have Yveltal, and then we have Zygarde, and we haven't had a Zygarde game. We never got that, and I think it's pretty obvious that's what this is. We're getting this continuation of Zygarde's story. And it's from characters from X and Y. So it's really connecting the regions in a way that, is sometimes done in the Pokemon games, but it's usually just kind of this offhanded reference to another region. But this time you get these people who are like on vacation from their region giving you a quest, and you get Zygarde cells and cores. So I just think that's a really cool thing to look forward to, and we're back to square one. So that wraps it up. There's so much information in that trailer, so if you noticed anything else, please let us know in the comments. And if you have any theories about Ultra Beasts, I really want to hear them. For all things Pokemon Sun and Moon, you're already in the right place. IGN.